Hey guys, this is Ace Vapor here. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Rather than doing a juice review, I'm just going to do a little commentary on some of the RDAs that I like. I grabbed two that I have just to give you a little comparison. They're two of the ones that I use the most often. One of them is, of course, my Plume Veil. A lot of people know about that. Really, really nice RDA. Definitely gives you huge clouds if you want it. Great flavor if you want it. And really the biggest reason is airflow, airflow, airflow. This thing gives you the airflow. It's got a nice drip tip, although I am thinking about changing that out just out of pure boredom more than anything else. But this thing gives you good airflow. Makes it easy since it's got the 4 posts. Got to remember where my camera is. But 4 posts makes it easy to do a dual coil if you want to. I'm still more of a single coil kind of guy, so I've got a single coil in this right now. 0.6 ohms of resistance, which is the minimum that you can use on the iTaste VTR and still get it to work. So that's what I have on that. The other one that I like, and if you're thinking about doing an RDA and you haven't yet, you're still using the tanks, but you're thinking about switching over, one that I would recommend is the Nimbus. And right now, this is obviously a clone, Nimbus clone on my M16, Sentinel M16. But the Nimbus clones, you can pick them up for ridiculously cheap prices. Your local shops will probably have them around $10, $11, $12 maybe. Online, I've seen them for $5, $6. I mean, crazy cheap prices. And what you do when you get your Nimbus, like I say, this is one of my favorite RDAs for performances once you're vaping with it. It does have some issues, which I'll get into in a second. But when you get it, take a drill and drill out the air holes. The normal air holes are very, very small, and you don't get the airflow. If you drill out the air holes on both sides, and trying to get it to look pretty, but you drill that out, and it gives you all the cloud, all the flavor that you want. It's got a 3-post on it. Again, single coil guy, so I got a single coil in it. But the one drawback of this, besides the small holes, is because it's not, well, it's a clone and not quite the same attention to detail that goes in it. When you're working with these and you're tightening them down, the post will turn. It gets a little bit annoying sometimes because you got to turn it back. Sometimes you can't tighten it down all the way and you got to start over, and it does get annoying. If you're somebody that doesn't switch your coils out a lot, don't switch your wicks out, well, you have to do that. But if you don't switch your coils out a lot, the Nimbus clones won't bother you that much because you got to fiddle with it the first time, but after that, you know, it's set. You don't have to worry. And that's what I do with this one. Is I'll keep it on my mech mod, and typically what I'll do is, since this is a telescoping one, if I'm somewhere where I'm going to be out and about, I'll put the small battery in, make it all tiny, and I'm taking a battery out so I can show you. You can make it tiny, and it makes it really easy to carry around with you. And so I'll keep the Nimbus on there, and I got a coil on there that I like, nothing crazy, but I just keep it on there, and you know, it works good. But when you change it out, those posts do move after a while. I mean, I haven't changed the posts out a lot, and it was moving almost right away, which is a little bit of annoying. But again, $10. I mean, what are you gonna, you know, you're not gonna get perfection for $10. But I will tell you, I can get just as big of clouds with the Nimbus as I can with the Plume Veil. I really, really can. And so this is what it's like when it's telescoped. Fits in your pocket, really, really nice. I should say when it's telescoped down. If you take the top off, I mean, it's really small. I mean, it's the size of my thumb, basically. Granted, I do have a big thumb, but it's small. It'll fit in your pocket. Really, really nice. For people that are pretending they're still having cigarettes, you know, it's a really heavy. It's a cigar, nice cigar. So, but really small, and I do like the Nimbus. And if they could fix those posts, or if somebody knows a way to do it yourself to fix them so they're not turning around as much, you know, this would be a steal at $10. I really do like it. So, but for those of you that are switching coils a lot, those of you that are trying to get the most and the best everything, without getting a lot of heat, when you sub-ohm, it generates a lot of heat. And with some of your builds, some of your cloud chasing builds, you're going to get a lot of heat, and that's where the plume veil comes in. It's got some insulators. The black here is an insulator. It's got some inside it as well, and it helps from keeping it too hot. I've never ever burned my lip using the plume veil, which is something I can't say for some of my other RDAs that I've used. You know, you get the little burns on there from it. It's just getting so hot. Actually, since I'm on a little random tangent today about things, the Sentinel M16, it is hot. It's super hot. I had one of the shop owners wanted to try out a new cloud chasing build on my Nimbus, so I put it on there, fired her up, and I literally destroyed the spring at the bottom in the trigger. I mean, I literally destroyed the thing. You can hear it shaking now. It just doesn't really work too well anymore. I gotta take it apart and change that out. The trigger doesn't work as good anymore, and it's all from a hot build. And basically, when you're using a resistance that is lower than the resistance on the springs, it's going to cause the springs to heat up. That's my non-professional breakdown for you. So when you're doing your sub-ohm builds, you try and if you have a higher resistance, like if you have a 1.0 resistance for your springs, which is hard to gauge, but if you have that and you got a 0.2 on your RDA, you're going to get hot, and hot quick, and that's just the way that it works. So keep that in mind. But the main purpose of this again was to say, if you want a cheap RDA and that will perform very well for you, and just as a starter, definitely Nimbus clone all day long. It works really, really well. So until next time, this is Ace Vapor saying, vape what you love.